Assassin 2 is officially in development and we will be able to play it in just a few short months. This is not clickbait, this is not a joke title, this is something that will be happening very soon. So if you've been on the Assassin Discord lately, you've seen a bunch of different messages from Plutonum, who is one of the developers of this new game. And he has given us loads of information about what's to come very soon. Plutonum has given us so much information about this new game, including a release month. Here is everything you need to know about Assassin 2. So first, let's start with a recap. The last time we talked about Assassin 2 was nearly 3 years ago, which is kind of insane when you think about it. And in that video, we talked about how Prisman had plans to remake Assassin into Assassin 2. It was going to be a massive game update that replaces Assassin 1, basically how Murder Mystery 2 was an update to Murder Mystery 1. And of course, since it's just an update, all of your knives would transfer over, and the original Assassin would be completely remastered and overhauled. Now throw everything I just said out of the window because none of that is true anymore. The plans for Assassin 2 are now completely different. For the past day or so, we've been getting some updates from Plutonum about a completely new game. Now, the fact that we're getting updates from Plutonum of all people is already setting up some green flags. In case you guys don't know, Plutonum is actually a pretty close friend of Prisman, and together they work with other Roblox developers as a game studio to make a bunch of different games. This studio has made Riotfall, we've been talking about that game for the past few years now, and they've also made that one Roblox game. We don't talk about that game, not in this household. But just from Plutonum's presence alone, Assassin 2 is already looking really promising. As you guys know, the original Assassin is solely owned by Prisman, or at least it has been for most of its lifetime. Prisman was the only person who could actually edit and update the game. Now, of course, there have been other developers who have contributed to Prisman's game. There's a group of developers who have worked on the maps, and there's other developers who have worked on the knives. And of course, Zikoi has been the community manager and moderator, but none of those people could actually update the game. Whenever someone made an asset for Assassin, they had to send it over to Prisman, and then Prisman had to manually insert it and update the game. But this time around, there is a full team of developers working on this new game. It's also really nice that Plutonum is working on this game because he communicates a lot more with the players. Anyway, let's talk about the new Assassin game. So it has been confirmed that there is a completely new Assassin game in the works. And I'm talking completely new. This is not just a remaster to the original Assassin. This is a completely new game with its own mechanics. However, it takes place in the Assassin universe. Now, the basic mechanics of Assassin are still in the game, like stabbing and throwing your knives, but pretty much everything is completely different. Now, what are these new mechanics? Well, we're not sure, but Plutonum has reassured us that this is very different from the original Assassin. And this new game has already made a lot of progress in development. According to Plutonum, this game already has well over 100 knives and 10 maps. We even have a video on what the new default knife is going to look like. There's also a video of the dev team hitting the gritty, so we know that emotes are going to be in this new game. This new game is about 70% done or so, and we even have a general release time for when we can play this game. Plutonum has said that if development goes well, we might be able to play this game by February of next year. And we're already nearing the end of December, so we only have like a month or two until we can start playing this game. Now, how is this going to affect the original Assassin? Most importantly, what's going to happen to our stuff? A lot of people have been asking if our Assassin inventories are going to transfer over to the new game. And it seems like the answer to this question is a definitive no. Our inventories and our levels from Assassin 1 will not transfer over to Assassin 2. Everyone is going to have a fresh start with the game. Now, at first glance, this might upset a lot of people, and I think I'm going to leave my own personal opinions for another video, but I will say that this change might actually end up becoming necessary. I'd say one of the biggest issues for Assassin at the moment is that it is very alienating towards new players, and very demotivating for veteran players. After all, if this new game comes out and a bunch of people are starting off with the game as Prestige 400, you know, with like 200 different knives, then what would even be the point of playing the game? If our knives do not transfer over, we can start fresh with a brand new economy, and whether you're a new or a veteran player, you can work towards building your inventory again. And not all hope is lost, because Plutonum said that there might be a system to reward old players once the game comes out. So even if you can't transfer any of your knives over to the new game, you might still be able to have a head start. But lastly, what is going to happen to the original Roblox Assassin? Is Prisman just gonna abandon the original Assassin, or is the game game still gonna get some updates? Well, maybe. It might still get some updates, so let's talk about that. Now again, this new Assassin game, for simplicity, I'm gonna call it Assassin 2. Assassin 2 is a completely different game, meaning the original Assassin is still gonna be there, and it's not gonna go away. In fact, the games are so different that both Assassin 1 and 2 could probably coexist together and both of them can update. But you know, the thing about Assassin 1, you know, to address the elephant in the room, Assassin 1 does not get a lot of players. And also the game is just old and very hard to update at this point. Like, this game is nearing 8 years old. And at the rate things are currently going, the devs can't really afford to keep updating Assassin. It costs a lot of money to pay developers for these updates to happen, and well, there's just not enough players to make that money back. So is Assassin 1 gonna keep updating? Well, maybe. It depends on how much Assassin 2 actually succeeds. If thousands of new people play Assassin 2, then a few of them might check out Assassin 1 and it might get more players as a result. And if Assassin 2 is profitable enough, then they might be able to afford to update Assassin 1. But if the new game doesn't do very well, then first of all, the entire dev team is in big trouble. They might have to go work at McDonald's. And if Assassin 2 doesn't do well, then Assassin 1 is definitely not going to help it at all. So that game probably wouldn't update either. And then I'd have to go work at McDonald's. Anyway, that's most of the news we know about Assassin 2 so far. I've got a lot of opinions about this game, but I think I might save those for a separate video. For this one, I just wanted to give you guys the cold hard facts. But you guys already know that I'm super hyped for this game, and I'll be there when the game drops. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date about Assassin 2. Anyway, the original Assassin is still getting a Christmas event, and I believe it might be coming out tonight, and depending on how well Assassin 2 does, this might actually be the final update for Roblox Assassin. Hopefully not if Assassin 2 does well, but we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I might be live for this Christmas event. I'm not sure yet. Stay tuned. Cheers!